Ekrole, Sherele Washa, Ekrole, 5:30. In Monday, public holiday, 28th. Today is the 28th of August 2023. Oshedi Timu Jadi or Timo share any kind of recording. Basically to replay it's part of the strategy. Just lay back and watch all the events around you. Okay. Níwájú Ọlọ́run àti èèyàn tí ò fẹ́ ìlọsíwájú ló máa gbàdúrà pé kẹ́nìkan fèèlì àbí káwọn kan fèèlì àwọn. That is highly irresponsible. So èmi ò sí fún yẹn. I'm not for that. I'm not a praying person, but ibi tí nǹkan dé báyìí we've prayed. I've prayed. Because when you think about the magnitude of nǹkan tá a need láti ṣe, this project deserves a lot of commitment. So bí nǹkan ṣe ń lọ, anyway, gbogbo ẹ ti ń lọ bákan, but ẹ má jẹ́ ká tanra wa. Ẹni tí ò báyìí tí notice wípé ọmọ yẹ ó ti ṣí gate, ó ti ń wo ọjà lọ́ọ̀kan, ẹnìyàn ò tí serious. Kó kàn rí owó ọjà òun ló kù. Kí la tún lè sọ lọ́rọ̀ Yorùbá very very vast in parables, in proverbs, in figure of speech and all of that. Another one tá máa ń sọ òun ni pé ọ̀kẹ́rẹ́ wa ó ti dédi ìrókò. Kókàn máa gun ìrókò yẹn báyìí ni kójú ọdẹ wa dá. Problem wa ni wípé for some reason, somehow, I believe wípé a kàn máa ṣe nǹkan off the cuff, ó kàn dẹ̀ máa ṣiṣẹ́. It's absolutely absurd wípé a kàn rò pé a kàn máa ṣe nǹkan, without concerted efforts, without the proper level of kind of like force of purpose. There's so much to ensure any Yoruba nation movement or agitation or whatever tabakbi lábẹ́ Professor Banji Akintoye tó jẹ́ pé it is downright embarrassing. It is abysmally embarrassing. Wípé àwa ọmọ Yorùbá tó jẹ́ pé Ọlọ́run fún wa ní ọgbọ́n. We are talented people. Ibita Barawa is such a disappointment. There's so much going on to jẹ́ all really were beneath wa. It's completely beneath us. And kí ló dé fà is because we don't have that core value. Core value, particularly we can value wípé ká committed to a common goal. Personal goals, OT, kind of like, overwhelm potential. Now, focus me at the moment, and got Professor Liluri Gongon, is the performance of the the center by the set of people to jẹ́ pé à ń gbàdúrà wípé can step up, but mediocrity ni wọ́n fi ń ṣe afẹ́. It comes out as a fashion. It's kind of like a vogue. So everything tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ó wá dàbí joke. It comes out as a joke. It comes out as a comedy, tragic comedy, because it's so kind of like upsetting in a way, but at the same time it's bemusing. Wípé ọmọ Yorùbá tó jẹ́ pé potentially we should be the giant of Africa. Tó máa sọ pé giant of Africa, tó máa sọ pé Nigeria. I can proudly say wípé 60% of that accolade was generated by the Yoruba people, was exemplified by the Yoruba people. But put us in a position tó jẹ́ pé a fẹ́ ṣe nǹkan ti ara wa, ibi tí Achilles heels wa wà nìyẹn. We are so stunted. It is a tragic comedy. Now, Professor Banji Akintoye, for his age, I have a lot of respect for him. But beyond that, it becomes a question of Shemufewa in denial. But I will never be in denial. No. I won't be in denial. One of the biggest questions mo be February ni pé àwọn wo ló wà around Baba Akintoye gangan náà? Who are the people who are advising, assisting, controlling, and whatever else tó yẹ kí wọ́n máa ṣe in such a way tó yẹ pé wọ́n jẹ́ kí bàbá yẹn feel. Anybody who is around Professor Banji Akintoye, whether immediate or remote or near or whichever, they have let Baba Akintoye down, and they've let Yoruba nation down. And Bobo Kini is so obvious. It's just out there. You can see it. It's it's palpable. It's such a big failure on the Yoruba people. Baba Akintoye, unfortunately, one can show one up, he just doesn't have that capacity. And what's still, èmi ò lè blame wọn pé wọn ní capacity yẹn too much, but àwọn tó wà around wọn compensate for lacking yẹn. Àwọn incidents kan ṣẹlẹ̀ lẹ́nujọ́ mẹ́ta yìí tó jẹ́ pé I believe it's just so beneath the Yoruba people. I'm a proud Yoruba man. I'm a proud Yoruba man, and I believe that I'm the kind of person to more understand human behavior in such a way to my understanding of human behavior àti bí a ṣe ń select àwọn èèyàn kò lè jẹ́ kí n feel bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé we failed. But about continue on this trajectory, tabade allow àwọn tó wà around Baba àti whoever else, whether in the core or rings outside the core, ancillary or whatever, taba allow wọn continue báyìí. Àwọn kan no fail, gbogbo ala fail. So me, for instance, I will speak up. I will say what's on my mind, not because I have authority, but because I have audacity. Money audacity. I will say, and it's not me audacity to read more special. No. I'm not special. Money audacity to read it is a social duty. It's a social responsibility. I think I'm wise enough láti mọ̀ yẹn. Anybody tó bá ti lò 6 decades nílé ayé yìí tí ò bá tí ní understanding bí society ṣe ń work, then ẹni yẹn tó bá dájú lé ọ̀run wọ́n máa mark ẹ̀ as ó fail part yẹn ni ó fail glass loose. That's it. Now program kan tán ṣe láìpẹ́ yìí, I'm trying to remember what was the program about. That's another problem. Kí n lè focus lórí theme pé a fẹ́ ṣe program kan ká wá fix sórí program yẹn ká lè máa ṣe program yẹn. Anyway, what I did notice no kíni ni wọ́n launch 100 radio, IOO radio, Ìlànà Ọmọ Oòduà radio. I hope I'm right. I hope we may get it wrong. But anyway, I can't be too. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, incident kan ṣẹlẹ̀. Incident yẹn ó serious because it is a repetition. Nǹkan tó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ rí ni. Now, let me quote what Professor Banji Akintoye said, and it's just symptomatic of the fact we are not trying to build an institution, we're trying to build a person. And when you're talking about even 5 million people, 10 million people, you cannot build, especially in this era of social media, you cannot build a nation around a person. You cannot build a nation around 2 people. You cannot build a nation around group. You build a nation with salient ideology. Now, Professor Banji Akintoye, ẹ jẹ́ kí n ka nǹkan tí Baba Akintoye sọ. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n ka. I am happy at the willingness of our people to follow direction that come from me especially. On a pause. My directive now is, since we have a Yoruba man as president of Nigeria, we will not do anything to annoy him or irritate him or to frustrate him or anything difficult. Now, it's not verbatim, but at the end of the day, caption ta need nibe ni wípé now since we have a Yoruba man as president of Nigeria, we will not do anything to annoy him, to irritate him, or to frustrate him, or anything difficult, blah, 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 blah. Now, this is not the first time tí Baba ma sọ̀rọ̀ with that kind of context. And that context is absolutely unnecessary. It is completely counterproductive. It is sycophantic and completely kini òyìnbó tí mo lè lò ńbẹ̀ yẹn o. It's completely ill thought through. Gbèrò nù. So question mi sì ni pé àwọn wo ló ń support bàbá, àwọn wo ló ń listen sí bàbá pé kí ni ideology bàbá. Now there's a bit of what I would have to call hypocrisy nínú ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn, because another incident ṣẹlẹ̀ not too long ago ó dẹ̀ involve Ọ̀túnba Oseni. Now Ọ̀túnba Oseni did a program where he went on to say to Baba wípé since láti gba one of the things tí a fẹ́ we as Yoruba people, one of the things tó wà lórí list nǹkan tá a fẹ́ is Yoruba man at the helms of the affair of Nigeria. Ìgbà tí Ọ̀túnba Oseni sọ gbogbo kí nìyẹn Baba Akintoye wọn pọ̀nkan ni pé no má sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́ na bla 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 bla, this is ìgbàgbọ́ so gbà wọ́n ṣáà sọ gbogbo ẹ̀ lọ. I was impressed. Lórí program kí náà ti máa ń pe program yẹn one-on-one with Ọ̀túnba Oseni and that kind of thing. At some point he seemed like he just wanted a personal access to Professor Banji Akintoye. And Professor Banji Akintoye obliged him a few times. It looks like recently Professor Banji Akintoye had thoughts like, this is not working. I don't know. Anyway, ọ̀rọ̀ tí Professor Banji Akintoye sọ ń bẹ̀ yẹn, man, ó ní agbára. Now, this is the interesting part of it. Drama kékeré kan ṣẹlẹ̀ ńbẹ̀. Ẹni tó bá notice, I notice. Mi ò fẹ́ fúnra mi ní wàhálà mọ́ pé mo fẹ́ máa fi evidence nǹkan tí n bá sọ sórí recordings mi mọ́, because it takes a lot of time. I have a lot of recordings. Mo dẹ̀ máa ń tọ́jú wọn pamọ́. So if it comes to a time tí anybody bá fẹ́ bá mi jiyàn, I will bring it out and I'll show it. So I have a large archive of stuff tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Yoruba nation. I tell anybody bá sọ anything tí mo bá rò pé ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ó dàbẹ̀ ni pé mo ní láti, I will keep it, and I would listen to anybody. I don't really discriminate. I would listen to anybody. Now, one of the people tí mo máa ń like láti listen to is Omoluka. Omoluka has a depth of thought, but unfortunately kò jẹ́ kí that depth of thought kó work fún in such a way tó jẹ́ pé ó máa project the purpose, the agitation wa for Yoruba nation, but each man to himself. Anyway, ọ̀rọ̀ tí Baba Akintoye sọ ń bẹ̀ yẹn is not the kind of utterance tí èèyàn máa gbọ́ lẹ́nu èèyàn tó yẹ pé ó ti ní self-determination láti gba self-determination fún Yoruba people. It just seems like Professor Banji Akintoye is working for the interests of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because how can you báwo ni scale of preference yẹn ṣe work in such a way that you are defending the interests of Bolaji Ahmed Tinubu, and then eléyìí tó yẹ kó wúwo lọ́wọ́ yín, tó yẹ pé òun ló yẹ kó wúwo, scale of preference yẹn ó demand wípé interest ti Bola Ahmed Tinubu is secondary, kó yẹ pé interest Yorùbá òun ni primary. That should be your main goal. Interestingly, that is not the first time tí wàá máa sọ kíni yẹn, but drama tó wá ṣẹlẹ̀ ni pé one very intelligent person bẹ́ẹ̀ mi ò lè identify it, because wait wọ́n fi máa ń ṣe streaming wọn, broadcast wọn and all of that, wọ́n ṣe pé kó jẹ́ pé automatically ó máa highlight ẹni tó bá ń sọ̀rọ̀. If it had been wípé wọ́n highlighted me, but get orúkọ ẹni tó sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn. Now the guy went into panic mode and went on to say àfẹ́ kí bàbá sọ̀rọ̀ jù. He knew wípé ọ̀rọ̀ tí bàbá ń sọ is completely against the whole principle wípé a fẹ́ gba Yoruba nation. He tried to stop Professor Banji Akintoye but Professor Banji Akintoye tó bá ti wọ gear báyìí àti stop wọn kò yá. These things are all there for everybody to see. So there's nobody out there who is trying to tell Baba, or Baba is not submitting himself to the salient kind of way tí èèyàn fi ń broadcast as a matter of mass communication. Professor Banji Akintoye is poor at mass communication. He is very poor at it. Irú ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ò yẹ kó jáde, especially nígbà tẹ́ ti sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan rí. Now, I can't completely blame Professor Banji Akintoye for the second time around, because tó bá jẹ́ pé àwọn tó yẹ pé wọ́n lu first time tó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ yẹn ló yẹ kán sí lọ bá bàbá kán explain fún bàbá pé ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ò yẹ kó jáde lẹ́nu wọn, but they failed to do that. It's kíni yóò gbogbo wọn tá à ń ṣe yìí à ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé big deal ni, but it's not as big as bá a ṣe ń handle it. We have no plan. We are such a potential people. We're such a people with potential. Tó jẹ́ pé lack of order, lack of organization, lack of structure, lack of roadmap, lack of everything tó jẹ́ pé ó yẹ kó wà within the project has actually been turned into trivial issues. Àwọn kan tó yẹ pé ó yẹ ká gbé gẹ́gẹ́gẹ́gẹ́gẹ́gẹ́ a máa trivialize it. Àwọn kan tó yẹ ká trivialize a máa gbé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé it is a complete failure of intention in a sense, because tí èèyàn ò bá ní sense of order, tí èèyàn máa fi play, tí èèyàn máa fi kind of like lo gbogbo functions tó wà around èèyàn, if you kíni ẹ̀mẹ́rẹ̀ la fẹ́ sọ, he who has no plan plans to fail. It's such a simple philosophy tó yẹ pé kò yẹ kí anybody ní problem pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. Everything that is ṣe so far à ń ṣiṣẹ́ lábẹ́lẹ̀. You're making the big error of thinking wípé àwọn màálù lẹ̀ ń deal pẹ̀lú àwọn northerners náà ń ṣe yẹn. Màálù kọ́ ẹ̀dá ọmọ èèyàn lẹ̀ ń deal pẹ̀lú 60 million of us as an estimate. So it requires a lot of consideration. It requires a lot of concerted effort. It's not something to jẹ́ pé nìkan máa gbé kárí. It is a failure of preparedness. Kí èèyàn. You can't keep on doing the same thing over and over and over to expect a different result. Professor Banji Akintoye, you are doing the same thing over and over and over. You have people around you. Ẹ wo gbogbo wọn tá à ń sọ yìí, it's so simple. Tó yẹ pé àwọn ọmọ yín tó kàwé wọ́n yapa. Simple project management. Òun lẹ need. Àwọn ọmọ yín tó ṣe project management wọ́n sùn. Ó dá mi lójú tá a bá jáde síbẹ̀ yẹn, we will find at least 10 of them. Èwo ló lè experience jù nínú wọn. Turn them into a team. Àwọn tó lè experience project management. Turn them into a team. Kí ni àǹfààní wípé we have 120 groups to submit 2 people each. which means pé you have 240 people. Mo mọ̀ pé number yẹn ẹ máa like láti exaggerate lára nǹkan tó máa fà bọ̀. But anyway, jẹ́ ká gba number yẹn bẹ́ẹ̀, which means you have 240 people sat in a cache who are supposed to be a component of our kind of intelligentsia. Kó wá jẹ́ pé irú nonsense báyìí, there's no way television of me pé you can't find project managers in this Yoruba nation struggle. Tẹ́ bá ti rí project manager ẹ kó wọn sí group kan, wọ́n need láti máa ju mẹ́wàá lọ. Ẹ wá àwọn tó ṣe political science mélòó kan ẹ kó wọn jọ. Ẹ wá social psychologist mélòó ẹ kó wọn jọ. Everything you need is within your reach. But gbogbo kíní yìí ó dàbí pé it's kind of like symptomatic of hubris. Shari, our country were dedicated, we are committed to this thing. Tó jẹ́ pé this is what drives my life right now. Tí bá believe, tí bá yẹ pé mo mọ̀, tí bá mọ̀ nínú ara mi pé I have the qualifications to trump anybody in such a way tó yẹ pé àwọn bita àti need required professionals, experience, people, all those cogent human factors. Tí bá believe pé, but mo believe pé àwọn tó ní jù mí lọ wà níbẹ̀, but you are not hunting for the right people. You're not. Ẹ wá dé ẹ máa sọ fún wa pé we are end of the ní àwọn wo lẹ ń bá sọ. Professor Banji Akintoye mi pẹ̀lú yín ti pàdé lẹ́ẹ̀mélòó kan, at least 3 occasions. Ìgbà tẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lọ sọ̀rọ̀ bọ̀, mo sọ fún yín outright wípé bàbá Akintoye ẹ bí mo rìn dín. Tẹ́ bá ń pè mí, tẹ́ bá ń sọ pé ẹ̀yin ọmọ mi, I will accept you as my father if you were actually living up to that reverence. But mo láti sọ fún yín pé bàbá Akintoye ẹ bí mo rìn dín, àwọn àwùjọ rìn dín. Tabadake taba ń wo àkàn wò ni o. Èmi ò fẹ́ kẹ́ fail, tẹ́ bá fail èmi fail, gbogbo ala fail. Anybody tó bá ti wà ní helms of affair wa tó bá fail, gbogbo ala fail. So I'm not the kind of person who is looking for you to fail. But ẹ ti wá ṣe débi ẹ ti dọ́kọ̀ délé dánimọ̀. Ẹ tún ti gbé tuntun kan jáde ńsìn ẹ fẹ́ lọ ṣe oh Lord. Ẹ fẹ́ lọ ṣe kí náà ti ń pè rally ní America. It's a good idea. It's a good idea. Because tẹ́ bá ṣe, maybe realize wípé popularity ti dwindle. And I'm being factual here. Tẹ́ bá ṣe tó bá wà successful, I will be so happy. But I'm a realist. I will nígbà tọ́rọ̀ bá dọ̀rọ̀ Yoruba nation, I will not put myself in the section of denial. I will not. But nǹkan tẹ́ fẹ́ lọ ṣe yẹn, there are prerequisites to everything téèyàn bá ṣe. There's a pre-plan kéèyàn tó ṣe nǹkan. The whole thing is so embarrassing. Ẹ wo, ó yẹ kẹ́ ti apologize fún wa. Generally, you should apologize wípé you open the gates for onítìrí láti wá destabilize nǹkan tó yẹ pé ó wà delicate in the first place. Nǹkan tí ẹsẹ̀ ò múlẹ̀, ẹ tún lọ gbé wọ́n, ẹ tún lọ àdẹ̀ mọ́. Ó yẹ kẹ́ apologize yẹn. But tabani kẹ́ apologize, mo sure pé àwọn kan máa gbé mú kékeré kan. But you are not looking at the bigger picture. You don't understand. Gbogbo eléyìí tá à ń sọ yìí sí a kàn sọ because a fẹ́ kẹ́ máa believe pé àwọn kan àwọn wíìkì àwọn kan ibi máa ta tán ni tí n bá dákẹ́ ológbò tó sùn bí ọ̀lẹ ni o mò ń wòye ni. I am dedicated to this project big time. Mo lè fẹ́ mímí ta but pẹ̀lú gbogbo eléyìí tẹ́ ń ṣe yìí no mi lè waste life mi martyrdom ò sínú yẹn heroism ò sínú yẹn foolishness ló wà nínú ẹ̀ ń sìn kí wọ́n sọ pé mo fẹ́ fi ẹ̀mí mi ṣe anything náà mi ò lè fẹ́ mímí ṣe nǹkan tí mo ready láti risk fún Yorùbá nation òun ló lọ lọ́ọ̀kan yẹn but other this nah man no. So the whole thing is so disjointed. Mo mọ̀ pé gbogbo bí mo ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí ń sìn àwọn kan kí ló sọ kíní kan ṣe ilé ayé yìí kẹlẹ́gbẹ́mẹgbẹ́ ni. Ẹnìkan ni mo wọ̀n ní tágbájíé bá wọ níkà á dákẹ́ everybody mẹ́gbẹ́ bàbá ẹ̀. It's not pé bóyá èèyàn ń try láti it's not arrogance, it's confidence. It's confidence. Gbogbo nǹkan tá à ń ṣe yìí we're just báwo lẹ ṣe ń jókòó tẹ́ ń work out báwo lẹ ṣe ń ṣe assessments what is the way tẹ́ fi measure progress? How do you say to yourself we're doing okay? We're not doing very well. How do you do that? Kí làwọn indicators tẹ́ ń lò? Because it's so simple to look at what's happening and come to a conclusion where you need to step up. But bí mo ṣe sọ, mi ò òun ló fẹ́ wọ̀ yìí abẹ́ ilé ayé la wà yìí orí grass ni mo wà yìí. I want us to succeed, but success ò kí ń wá bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Success yìí ṣe nǹkan orí ahọ́n. It takes concerted effort. Gbogbo wọn tẹ́ ń ṣe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ yìí, we cannot get Yoruba nation under you. A lè get Yoruba nation worse still lábẹ́ Onítìrí. I mean, how do you Onítìrí is such mo wà careful kí n má lo language because mi ò ní láti bú anybody, mi ò dẹ̀ ní láti ṣépè fún anybody. It's just a waste of energy. It's a waste of kì í ṣe pé energy ò sí ńbẹ̀ yẹn lọ́dọ̀ Onítìrí. Onítìrí could have been somebody tó yẹ pé a máa lò to the advantage of Yoruba nation. But the woman actually turned out to be a terminator. But at the end of the day, like I said earlier on, ta ló ṣí gate fún? Who let the enemy in? Now, one of the principles that she's working on, she expects wípé kí ọmọ Yorùbá kọ́kàn dàjáre gírí àti ṣe declaration a máa ṣe kíní kan. It doesn't make any sense. It is an insult to the intelligence of our society. How does this woman expect pé on the basis of Sherry proof of progress tí mò ń sọ yẹn àwọn èèyàn kan máa jáde wọ́n máa bú àwọn ọba wọ́n máa bú àwọn ìjòyè wọ́n máa bú kíní kan nǹkan tí ẹ̀ tí instill nínú àwọn èèyàn ni wípé when you have a majority àwọn ọba gan máa mọ̀ pé serious wọ́n á join ní Yorùbá philosophy tó wà nínú Yorùbá ó serious gan wọ́n ní ọmọ tó bá ṣípá nìyẹ́ ẹ̀ máa gbé. There's no way to ever capture 45% of the Yoruba people. Turn ready láti lọ. One of the indicators tẹ́ máa rí ni pé àwọn politicians máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní máa change side. I can promise you that much. It is so simple. Let's understand. Beba ṣe ń lọ, moment ṣe bá ti dé stage kan, which is probably ẹ jẹ́ ká mú state legislature for instance. Kẹ́ wá rí pé àwọn tí wọ́n ṣe member of house at the state level, wọ́n á bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí wá shift sí Yorùbá nation. Ẹ jẹ́ ká mú Ọ̀yọ́ state for instance. Kẹ́ wá rí bóyá bí 5 ex honourables or whatever kan á dàpọ̀ mọ́ Yorùbá nation. Nǹkan tẹ́ máa notice ni pé at the local government level, some of them will start moving across pé kíni ti ń change o. By the time they are bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní mú 50% of the populace, find out pé even at the federal level, wọ́n máa ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí máa move, wọ́n máa wà disturbed. Tẹ́ bá dé level kan, political carpet crossing ó máa ṣẹlẹ̀. Àwọn ọba fúnra wọn á move. Àwọn indicators téèyàn bá ń sọ fún mi pé a ti ń ṣiṣẹ́, we are getting there, we are coming to the end. Kàn sọ̀rọ̀ lórí eréfèé ni, mi ò stupid. Foreign policy máa ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí máa show. Foreign policy UK, foreign policy Ghana, foreign policy Canada. Wọ́n ti máa sọ àwọn kankan tí máa ṣẹlẹ̀. Wọ́n á pè àwọn people is serious. Kẹ́nìkan wá jókòó kó máa pé I swear, bàbá tí ń ṣiṣẹ́ gidi, àwọn iṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe, ìgbésẹ̀ tó ń ṣe. You have no idea of the scope of global politics. Tẹ́ bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Even in economics, tẹ́ bá gbé débì kan, ẹ máa rí àwọn èèyàn industrialists àbí kí ni ká pè wọ́n trade tán wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí máa wá bá yín, wọ́n máa bá yín pé ó dà yẹn pé ẹ ti ní progress o. Àwọn indicators tẹ́ máa fi mọ̀ yín pé ẹ ti ń progress nìyẹn. Àwọn tẹ́ pé jáde tán ṣe front line yẹn á jókòó kò ní dá fún yálà. What is that? So, you haven't done anything to progress our endeavor. Our struggle hasn't in fact, ó reverse ni instead kó máa go forward. It is simple. It's simple láti ṣe assessment yẹn. Ó simple láti accept it. Ó dẹ̀ simple láti ṣe take corrective measures. Ẹ wá jáde ń sọ fún wa ẹ jẹ́ tí ń kú kakíní yẹn because ìgbà tí mo tẹ́ ń sọ báyìí I was annoyed, and anybody tó bá believe in Yorùbá nation struggle tó yẹ pé bàbá Akintoye tó ń wo bàbá Akintoye tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ó yẹ kẹ́ni yẹn wà pissed off. It's as if wípé you don't know who you are working for, or you don't know ẹ kàn rò wípé ọmọ Yorùbá pé ẹ kàn máa kó wọn as political commodity, political capital. Ọlọ́run ló dá wa náà náà. Èmi á sọ tèmi tí máa sọ. Mo ti gba èpè, mo ti gba ebú, mo ti ṣe kinní kan, but I know what I'm talking about and I know I am right. So ìgbà tẹ́ máa sọ, I am happy at the willingness of our people to follow the direction that come from me especially. My directive now is, since we have a Yoruba man as president of Nigeria, we will not do anything to annoy him. Èwo ló kàn yín pẹ̀lú pé wọ́n annoy ẹ̀, for crying out loud. Èwo ló kàn yín? Ṣé mi ló yẹ kí n wà allowed? Or 7,000 of my peers? Èmi ló yẹ kẹ́ máa ṣiṣẹ́ fún me. Me, I'm the one tó ń gé ọwọ́ ẹ̀ méjèèjì. Tí Fúlàní tó ń gé ọwọ́ ẹ̀ méjèèjì. I am the one tẹ́ ń ṣiṣẹ́ fún. Tí Fúlàní gé ọwọ́ ẹ̀ méjèèjì. I'm in my 50s. I'm in my 50s. Wọ́n gé ọwọ́ mi méjèèjì. I was born with 2 hands. Mo ń fi àdá ṣánko. Mo ń fi ṣíbí gbóúnjẹ sẹ́nu. Tí n bá lọ toilet, màá gbọ̀nsẹ̀ fúnra mi. It is me you're working for. Torí pé now mi ò lọ́wọ́ mọ́ láti ṣe anything. I have become useless. Ọ̀rọ̀ mi ti wá di ikú yájẹ̀sín lọ. And you are talking about Tinubu? Are you for real? Ẹni tó dìde tó fẹ́ máa bá yín sọ pé bàbá ẹ wá máa lọ. À ń tọ́ra wá jù. Most of us don't even have self-determination. Our own personal self-determination, a mini self-determination. Most of us don't have self-determination. Ẹ lè fẹ́ gba self-determination fún mi. Èmi ló yẹ kẹ́ gba self-determination fún. Níbi tó yẹ pé mo wà desperate títí mo mú ọkọ̀ kúrò nínú ìlú mi. My own God-given country. Because mo mọ̀ pé mo ní potential. Mo wá kúrò nínú ìlú mi. Mo wá lọ sí agbègbè Nàìjíríà. Mo máa wọkọ̀ kúrò ńbẹ̀. Mo wá ń travel lọ lórí desert. Mo wá kú sí desert. Èmi lẹ̀ ń ṣiṣẹ́ fún. I am the consideration. I am the one tó yẹ pé mo manage, mo kọjá lórí desert yẹn. Ìgbà tá máa dé Mediterranean Sea, mo momi yó. I am the one tẹ́ ń ṣiṣẹ́ fún. I am the one tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n sun ọmọ mi mọ́lé, mò ń gbókú ẹ̀ dání. I am the one you are working for. I am the one you need to think about. And there's 60 million of me as an estimate. But you are working for Tinubu. You are worried about Tinubu. Tinubu seems to be your scale of preference.
Tambane Professor Akintoye la mama nye kan wa ko wa ṣe president Tinubu ma lọ mú. Why? Because only experience. O de ni guts. What he did in 2013 to 14 is a miracle. Yeah. How many of us have ever achieved anything like that? Kó irú ògiri jọ kó wọn jọ kó gbogbo owó South West lọ ṣe wọ́n lọ sọ Buhari the president. Wọ́n dey win a majority in the House of Representatives and the Senate. That's a big thing. Tán bá ní kí èmi Banji Akintoye ní in a normal situation pé kí n lọ mú yàn kan wá òun ni màmá wá lọ. Ṣùgbọ́n things are not normal. We Yoruba must not remain in this country. 2023 ò ní ṣẹlẹ̀ nílẹ̀ tiwa.
Lè lè sọ fún yín. Ẹ̀yin kan náà lẹ jáde níjọ́ wo yín báyìí. Tẹ́ attack. It's an attack. It's an attack. Attack àjàkáyé. Ẹ ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ìjìnlẹ̀ Marcus. It's as if wípé ẹ ti ẹ̀ mọ level tẹ́ wà. Oh no. It's as if pé ẹ mọ level tó yẹ kẹ́ wà. And that is only happening because you don't have self-esteem. It's as simple as that. You don't have the idea of the magnitude of the purpose to yẹ kẹ́ serve. How would you be on a program? Tell them for lọ́yàn. That is the best way to say it. Why? I want to advise you. Do you actually scripts ló yẹ kẹ́ máa follow? Nobody should leave you unleashed. It's just pretty amazing. Tẹ́ bá ní gbogbo àwọn YSDM síbẹ̀. Tẹ́ ní ìlànà síbẹ̀. And this is the best you can do. then we are in trouble. Okay, lẹ́yìn yẹn kí ni next one tẹ́ ṣe? Ọ̀rọ̀ bàbá Professor Adeniran. Ó mà ṣe o. Now, initial incidents nígbà tá a find out wípé Professor Adewale Adeniran may be a turncoat. Àwọn sọ̀rọ̀sọ̀rọ̀ tó choose láti ṣe kíní yẹn wọ́n jáde wọ́n ṣépè wọ́n pariwo wọ́n ṣe. There was no need for that. Expose the weakness in it. There are times when you have to go to the other side. I mean, when I listen to people, mo man listen as if bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé mo fẹ́ gba information ni, so mo fẹ́ wo presentation àwọn èèyàn. This is not the way to present nǹkan tá à ń ṣe ní Yoruba nation. Eléyìí tèmi náà ń ṣe yìí, mo máa jù sínú ilé local ni. I won't go out and stream it. Mi ń ṣe program, strategy ni. Okay, Baba Professor Adeniran ṣe nǹkan tán máa ṣe. Ẹ wá ń pariwo. It comes across bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wípé you are jealous. Ó dà kíni yẹn? Ó dàbí jealousy ni. Because how do you know pé máa ń ṣe gbogbo nǹkan tí ò dá gbogbo yín dẹ̀ dákẹ́? Mo wà ń bẹ̀ ńgbà tó ṣẹlẹ̀. Tọ́mọ́ tún sọ mo wà ń bẹ̀ ńgbà tó ṣẹlẹ̀. Tọ́mọ́ sọ mo wà ń bẹ̀ ńgbà tó ṣẹlẹ̀. Ọlọ̀tẹ̀ ẹ ti da Yoruba nation. When you know that the man won't kówó jẹ, when you know pé ó ń ṣe nǹkan tí ò yẹ kó ṣe, there are ways of controlling the situation láì máa pariwo in such a way tó yẹ pé ẹ máa diminish project yín. Ẹ wá jáde. People talk without reasoning. Okay, ẹ jẹ́ fún yín ní example mélòó kan àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ yẹn. Normally tí mo ṣe recording yẹn sí màá lọ máa yọ mo ní gbogbo recording yẹn sílẹ̀, but I'm not going to go through that trouble anymore because à ń ṣọmọdé mọ́. Everybody has the ability to be introspective, and if you choose not to be, then you are a waste to the Yoruba nation struggle. One guy came out, ó sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ kọ́kọ́ wò báyìí pé kí ni value program tẹ́ ṣe yẹn? No, ẹ má yẹ kí n sọ pé kí ni value program tẹ́ ṣe yẹn, màá kára mi mọ́ yín, because being sensible, I'm going to take part of the blame. Today I was once part of Yoruba world media, but I took a step back. But mo mọ bí tí mistake tèmi náà wà, so èmi náà máa count ara mi as one of the people who erred. Now, number one, there was no need for that program because ẹ kàn highlight vulnerability, ẹ highlight weakness yín, ẹ highlight disorder yín. Now imagine somebody coming out during the program, kàn máa sọ wípé omi ìwẹ̀ náà fi ń ṣe oúnjẹ fún bàbá Akintoye. Are you for real? And you're telling us that now? Àtìgbà tó ti kó kúrò, orí ò fọ́ bàbá Akintoye mọ́. Gbogbo ẹ̀ kò tiẹ̀ make sense rárá. And Yorùbá wọ́n ní tó bá na ìka àbùkù sí ẹnìkan, mẹ́rin tó kù ìwọ ló kọjú sí. Bàbá ńlá philosophy ni. Now mi ò mọ age Professor Adewale. Nínú bẹ̀ náà lẹ́tí wọ́n ń pariwo káàkiri kì í ṣe professor kì í ṣe doctor ni àti doctor àti professor àtìgbà tẹ́tí mú ẹ̀ lè sọ jáde you are weaklings. Àwọn nǹkan tó bà Nàìjíríà jẹ́ nìyẹn weaklings ni ẹ wá ṣe tán ẹ wá ń gang up ẹ ń gang up lọ ẹ tó tẹ́ ẹ bá ti ra jẹ́ kó lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ó ya fọ́tò kó ya fọ́tò ẹ ra fílẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ kó máa lọ ẹ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá lọ highlight ẹ lọ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ lọ highlight profile yín tí ò da gbogbo program tẹ́ ẹ ṣe yẹn ń sìn mo sure pé more than 15,000 people lórí ẹ ṣí weakness yín sílẹ̀ kí gbogbo èèyàn máa rí what is the value kí ló ṣe fún Yorùbá nation how does it promote Yorùbá nation how does it progress Yorùbá nation ẹ wá ń sọ̀rọ̀ lọ ẹ ń sọ̀rọ̀ lọ as far as I can tell Professor Adewale Adeniran was born in 1942 Professor Banji Akintoye was born in 1935 àgbàlagbà làwọn méjèèjì jẹ́ sí àwa tẹ́ ń ṣe program tá à ń ṣe program àgbàlagbà náà jẹ́ sí wa ẹ wá sọ̀rọ̀ lọ sọ̀rọ̀ bọ̀ ẹnìkan ní atókù má kú amọ̀nàrún má lọ are you alright? Should make sense simply because you want to favour a singular person. Another one tún jáde ó ní àgbà ò kọ́gbọ́n. You are defending a person born in 1935 from a person born in 1942. Ẹ wá ń lo vaporization according to language kan tí bàbá Akintoye sọ nìyẹn ẹ ń lo ebú ẹ wá ń sọ pé àgbà ò kọ́gbọ́n ẹ tún ní atókùmákù amọ̀nàrún má lọ. How do you work that out? How does that become the language of ọmọlúwàbí tó jẹ́ pé ó gbọ́n? Another one wey Mediocrity. Another one mi mọ̀ nǹkan tó fún yín ní idea wípé you can go around intimidating people. Ẹni náà máa sọ̀rọ̀ èmi ló ń bá wí ó mọ̀ pé èmi ló ń bá wí èmi náà dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé èmi ló ń bá wí. Ó wá ní kí ló báwo ló ṣe pèdè yẹn náà o ó ní òṣùwọ̀n ẹ máa tó kún òṣùwọ̀n tèmi máa tó kún. Professor Banji Akintoye lọ jókòó tí Professor Banji Akintoye kó sọ fún wọn kó béèrè lọ́wọ́ wọn at least on 3 occasions ni mo ti bá bàbá Akintoye sọ̀rọ̀ directly tí n bá rí bàbá Akintoye live màá dọ̀bálẹ̀ máa kí wọn ọwọ́ tó bá nà sí mi òun ni màá dá padà màá fún wọn ní full respect all due respect màá fún wọn but when it comes to Yoruba nation àwọn bàbá mi pọ̀ o àwọn bàbá mi tí ò rí pension wọn gbà àwọn bàbá mi tó ń rùn pa tí ò lè kúrò nílé àwọn bàbá tó fẹ́ jẹun wọn mọ́ lèmi fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́ fún mi ò fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́ fáwọn bàbá tó fẹ́ jẹ àwọn ọmọ mi má yé so ìwọ wá dìde òun sọ pé mo kàn wo olú ẹ lọ mo wò bọ̀ mo kàn wò pé ilébi symptom ilébi ni symptom of sycophancy. Àwọn èèyàn tó bá dẹ̀ ti ń behave bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn wọ́n máa rí nǹkan tó ń go wrong báyìí wọn ní lè sọ láíláí because ilébi ni wọ́n alátẹnujẹ. Kí ló dẹ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ náà? Bàbá Adéníran ní pé ká wá investigate ká ṣe kíní kan. I was part of the people tó ń pè wípé ká work out nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀. I invite Baba Akintoye because there was no need for Baba Akintoye láti wà ńbẹ̀. We start from the right point Ademalo. Baba Akintoye gate crash proceeding yẹn. Nobody invited him. Ó lẹ́ni tó ṣe mistake tó yẹ pé kò dára ẹ̀ lójú. There was no need to let Baba Akintoye in. It was not a meeting he was invited to. He didn't need to be there. It was a select committee if you want. It was a probing panel if you want. Whether he had authority or he didn't have authority, that is not the point. The point is he was not invited. One day, should be thugs. But màá sọ fún yín pé Professor Banji Akintoye afforded me the respect. He gave me my due respect. Èmi náà mo mọ àgbàlagbà. Now nígbà tọ́rọ̀ yẹn máa jáde, ẹ listen sí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí, ẹ listen sí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí. Ọ̀rọ̀ wo, that kind of thing. Now, question tí mo fẹ́ béèrè àti question tí wọ́n anticipate ó yàtọ̀ sí ara wọn. I knew wípé ìlànà did not have a bank account for a very, very long time. And at the time tá à ń béèrè question, Professor Adewale Adeniran wọ́n ti ṣí bank account fún ìlànà. What ìlànà failed to do for such a long time. There's no way tí wọ́n máa ṣí account fún ìlànà láì jẹ́ pé wọ́n ní collaboration 2 or 3 people. So there are other people who were involved in opening that bank account. So ìyẹn lọ́tọ̀ nítorí ẹ bá pé o máa understand nǹkan tí mo ń sọ ń bẹ̀ yẹn. I don't need to draw it out. But the question tí mo fẹ́ béèrè lọ́wọ́ wọn ni pé, do you have a record? Do you have a ledger? Ṣé ní account tẹ́ keep lórí owó tẹ́ ti ń gbà láti kí n tó parí question yẹn báyìí thuggery kan bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni. The same person ló ní láyé kíní kan. Èèyàn mélòó ni Professor Banji Akintoye ní dominion over? Àwọn èèyàn mélòó ló ń lead? Àwọn tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ní political capital ju Baba Akintoye lọ, they ask the questions from them. If you cannot submit to it, then you are not worthy of being a leader. This is a democratic pursuit. Tí o bá yí ẹ lọ jókòó, o lẹ́nu ń bẹ̀. You and I know each other. Mo ṣe ń warm up ni. So gbogbo eléyìí tẹ́ ń ṣe káàkiri kó make sense. Ẹ wá ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ tán, ẹ ń sọ gbogbo nǹkan jágbá rédè nǹkan tó yẹ kó yẹ káyé bá yín gbọ́. Baba Akintoye wọ́n pè omi fẹ́ máa bọ́ lójú mi, wọ́n ní káwa jọ lọ ṣiṣẹ́ kan, kíní kan ọmọ. Àwọn èèyàn ń wò yín, wọ́n dẹ̀ ń size yín up. And what will they find? They'll find wetbacks. Àwọn èèyàn tí ò lódodo, àwọn tó fẹ́ jẹ dodo, tí ò lè sòdodo ló máa bá ń bẹ̀. Ẹ sọ gbogbo ẹ lọ jágbá. But the worst one is ó dà yẹn pé wọ́n á ṣe kíní yẹn in collaboration with Professor Banji Akintoye. Professor Banji Akintoye was listening in, and then he called Gani Alagbala. And that is when he actually went Kinikinso abysmal. It actually went abysmal. Àwọn deceits, àwọn sophistry tí ò make sense. Professor Banji Akintoye pé Gani Alagbala wá ń relay message. Wọ́n wá ń sọ pé Baba Adeniran òun ló fà á tí YSDM ṣe dàrú. so àwọn máa ṣe àtúnṣe bàbá ẹ má máa ṣe ẹ underestimate àwọn tẹ́ ń pè ní ẹ̀yin ọmọ mi ẹ underestimate èmi lèmi sọ̀rọ̀ jáde àìmọye èèyàn ló gbọ́ kíní yẹn àìmọye èèyàn ló gbọ́. It is beneath you. It's so cheap. Bàbá Adéníran ló gbọ́ ló wá sọ fún yín kíní kan ẹ wá ṣe kíní kan ẹ tó wá fẹ́ lọ gbọ́ kíní yẹn kó lọ tún gbọ́ because ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan tó yẹ kẹ́ máa listen sí ẹ̀ ní listen sí you always listen to reply instead of listening to understand. Mi ìgbà tí Gani Alágbàlá mi ìgbà tí ẹ̀ because he's always ahead of himself. Cause see, it's not a bad thing kéèyàn ní personal ambition. But you have to be cautious. You have to be loyal. He was one of the ones to support Onítìrí débi pé ó gba gbogbo nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ lábẹ́ wa yìí. But fear is fear. Tó bá fi ṣe political spokesperson, àwọn nǹkan kan wà tó yẹ pé jẹ́ kóun máa sọ kó má jáde lẹ́nu tí. The timing was wrong fún yín láti máa pè pé kó máa sọ fún wa pé nǹkan báyìí báyìí. People are watching you. Don't ever think wípé àwọn èèyàn ò ní brain. That is an error on your part. It's so condescending. It comes across as if bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé ẹ rò pé ọ̀bọ làwọn tẹ́ ń pè ní ẹ̀yin ọmọ mi. Kì í ṣọ̀bọ. Mi ì fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn délẹ̀ because there's so many details in bẹ̀ tá lè sọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ lórí. You people will not sit down and plan. Ẹ wá jáde ẹ kàn máa sọ gbogbo ẹ tún máa bára yín jà ẹ tún máa contradict ara yín ẹ tún máa ṣe gbogbo ẹ. Ọ̀rọ̀ dàbí another one tẹ́ ẹ ṣe. In fact mo máa ṣe disclaimer kan lẹ́ni mo kọ́kọ́ rò pé kí n filẹ̀ ni but Pastor Okebiorun he did it once he did it the second time and I thought no máa ṣe disclaimer because èmi mi ò wá accolade in fact mi ò need accolade nǹkan tí mo ní di Yorùbá nation gbà tó ń ṣe program wọn tó ń launch Central Program Management Office CPMO which mi ò rí necessity tó wà níbẹ̀ power play ni power show ni nǹkan tẹ̀dẹ̀ ń ṣe I don't know how Professor Banji Akintoye fell for it anyway. If somebody doesn't stand for anything, he will fall for anything. Power play ni, power show ni. Okay, Okebiorun wants to. And then he came out using me. Ó sọ̀rọ̀ èmi. Ó ní èmi Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn ló sọ pé kíní kan ló pè mí pé òun rò pé èmi mo hate Baba Akintoye or something along those lines pé bọ̀ èmi ni mo pè. Lóòótọ́ ni mo pè tí mo sọ pé ẹ help Baba out. But nǹkan tèmi pẹ̀lú ẹ discuss kọ́ nìyẹn. Council of Elders tó máa jẹ́ payers fún bàbá lèmi pẹ̀lú ẹ sọ I did not say wípé kẹ́ lọ create sentiment ẹ create resentment nínú YSDM ni kí ló yẹ tẹ́ ẹ lè wà lábẹ́ YSDM kẹ́dẹ̀ ṣì máa ṣe office Professor Banji Akintoye but because you want to be to make it look like you are the chief of staff you are the chief over everybody. Ẹ wá wọ débi pé ẹ ń ṣe launching nìkan là ń rí reaction kò sí delivery kankan. Ó sọ the first time ó sọ the second time I keep an eye on a lot of things mo máa ń rí mo dẹ̀ máa ń record a lot of things èmi máa ṣa edit mo máa ń send ẹ̀ sí ẹlòmíì gbà mí àwọn èèyàn á tún sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí àwọn pé àwọn people yóò serious they don't know what they're doing. Àtúnbára wa discuss it. I am not that person. Ọ̀rọ̀ tí mo dẹ̀ sọ wípé help Baba out. I said it out of a good heart. Wípé let's be progressive. Gbogbo eléyìí tẹ́ ń ṣe tí ààrẹ nìkan kan tó jẹ́ pé ó máa bàbá argue tó máa control Baba tó máa put Baba in the right path tó máa regulate Baba. Ìrìn àjò tá à ń rìn there has to be thermometer àwọn tó máa gauge ibi tí nǹkan dé and there has to be thermostats. Àwọn tó máa regulate it, tó wá pé ó fẹ́ change direction, ó fẹ́ gbóná jù, ó fẹ́ tutù jù, wọ́n mọ̀ ṣe máa regulate it. But we have no structure, no workable structure. Dr. Pastor Okebiorun, he came out with a structure the other day. It was so complex. Whatever complex. It was just so complicated. It was, would that be circuit diagram or nuclear weapon? There's no need for that. Simplify it in such a way to help you understand it. There is nothing successful that has come out of everything. Tell and set up. I just give you a simple example. Baba ṣe ìwé kan jáde 35-page write-up. On the 34th page, Professor Banji Akintoye kọ síbẹ̀ wípé we may have to have a referendum. Now, irú statement bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn àti everything else tó wà ń bẹ̀, ó yẹ kẹ́ simplify ẹ̀, kẹ́ wá send ẹ̀, kẹ́ wá bẹ̀ sí máa dispatch ẹ̀ sí gbogbo àwọn media presenters. But because kò sí structure, ṣe now. Now, what then happened was Dara ó jáde because of nǹkan tẹ́ ti sọ tẹ́lẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin àti Onítìrí ẹ wà lórí program, ó dà pé program ìjọ tí a gba result petition way back nígbà yẹn o. Lẹ́yìn méjì jáde lẹ́tí put ẹ̀ sínú mind àwọn èèyàn pé a gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe referendum. Baba ńlá misinformation ni. In fact, coming out of Professor Banji Akintoye pé a gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe referendum was a disappointment for somebody who is supposed to be a professor of history. But adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run, wọ́n redacted. He came back and then he made what should have happened then is nígbà tí situation yẹn ti change, ó yẹ kẹ́ inform gbogbo èèyàn. Àwọn kíni yóò le tó yìí. Kíni yóò le tó yìí. Ẹ wá gbé èèyàn wá dé ó ní Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn ló sọ pé kíní kan. That is not what we discussed. So this is my disclaimer. Do not, mi ò tiẹ̀ need accolade yẹn. Do not ṣẹ́rí tá bá ti gba Yorùbá nation. Accolade mi tí n bá jókòó sábẹ́ igi báyìí kí máa ní pé yes, bẹ́ẹ̀ nìkan ò yìn mí, màá yínra mi. That is what I want. Gbogbo pé ara nǹkan tẹ́ fi ń ba gbogbo iṣẹ́ jẹ́ nìyẹn. At best, Pastor Okebiorun, see, he's definitely older than me, so I expect him to be smarter. So to an extent, mo wà prepared láti subdue ara mi fún if he has that higher intelligence. Tó bá pè mí later on out of public, tó wá ní thank you for that idea. It was okay. Okay. That is enough. Ore kọ́ ló ṣe mí. Because I'm not hungry for come mommy. I'm not hungry for accolade. I'm not hungry for no mi ṣọmọ ìjẹbẹ̀rí. So gbogbo wọn tá à ń ṣe, in conclusion, àwọn tó wá kó wa tán divide ìlú wa láàrin ara wọn, there's something very crucial tán ṣe. We call this the Berlin Conference. Wọ́n jókòó, wọ́n sọ, wọ́n dúnàdúrà. Very, very importantly, there's always a good thing to have that part of a collective tó jẹ́ pé ó máa ní dissenting opinion per issue. Èèyàn tó jẹ́ pé ó máa ready láti oppose nǹkan kó dẹ̀ stand by it as a matter of principle. So you have the opportunity to discuss it. Tó bá wà valid, tó wà tenable, you know how to to deal with it. But you guys are doing things off the cuff. Just do it. Hey, help Professor Banji Akintoye. Ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ti dàbẹ́ ní pé ẹ̀pà ò burú mọ́. We are just waiting for the boat kó padà sí èbúté ni. Bóyá tún máa load ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú fresh ideas. But mo kàn make mind me up pé I will say it. Not because I have authority, but I have audacity. And I recognize my duty and my responsibility. Tí gbogbo wa bá dìde within our own limitations, ara nǹkan tó yẹ kí a máa contribute sí nìyẹn. When things are not going right, stand up and speak. But èmi o, kò sẹ́nibody tó lè pa ẹnu mi dé. Gbogbo àwọn tẹ́ ṣépè fún jọ́ kìíní, gbogbo àwọn tẹ́ intimidate níjọ́ kìíní, gbogbo àwọn tẹ́ bú níjọ́ kìíní, at the end of the day, wọ́n move on. Èmi ò sí nínú ẹni tẹ́ anybody lè intimidate. So gbogbo kẹ́ máa pariwo káàkiri mi ò sí lower level yẹn. I'm not there. Ẹ lè bá mi bẹ̀. Ẹ wá dé decide pé máa ṣépè ní ṣe máa wù yín náà lélẹ́yìí. Èmi ti sọ nǹkan tí máa sọ. I'm not here to compete with anybody. Mi ò sínú ìlànà, mi ò sínú YSDM, mi ò sínú Think Yoruba First, mi ò sínú YOV, mi ò sínú Global Directorate, mi ò sínú. I am just a citizen who is observing his duty. So anyway, mo kàn ní kí n touch base ni. Video méjì mo fẹ́ ṣe tẹ́lẹ̀, bọ́ ẹyọ kan yìí máa ṣe for now. The next video tí máa ṣe, mo máa ṣe lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Ìlọrin, Tani Ọlọ́run, Islam, mọ́ nǹkan kan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. But thank you for listening. Ọlọ́run á fún wa ṣe. Ó dàbọ̀.